I'm Jess and welcome back to Magical Mischief. Today we have got another magical discussion video for you guys. Now this wasn't a video that was planned within sort of my content, but then some news got announced in the UK that I just have to talk about in a magical discussion and get you sort of updated on it if none of you know. So there were, I would say probably like a year or two ago now, if I'm going to be honest, there was speculation of Universal coming to the UK with a theme park. It was big, I think, big speculation. There wasn't anything official that had been announced by Universal. All that was basically said and all that people knew was that Universal had bought a plot of land, or it was believed they bought a plot of land in Bedford. And people were speculating as to whether the park was actually coming to the UK and whether it was true or not. But then, a couple of days ago actually, just before filming this, it was announced on the BBC News and through a BBC News article that Universal is bringing a park to the UK. This was something I was very initially excited about, was very, very excited. I am a Universal fan. I love going to Universal, especially the one in Orlando. And the main reason I love going is because of all the Harry Potter stuff. The Harry Potter stuff is just phenomenal. So the first Universal theme park in Europe will be built in the UK. As I said, what I am, to be fair, reading to you now is little bits from a BBC News article. So the attraction is planned for the site of a former brickworks near Bedford and could create an estimated 28,000 jobs before opening in 2031. It is planned, I believe, that they will start building next year in 2026, and by 2031 it will be built. Universal estimate a 476 acre complex could attract 8.5 million visitors in the first year. This has been actually supported by the government. There have been pictures of Universal talking with the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, and that was shown like on the news. So in the news article, it states that Universal, which has made films including Minions and Wicked, has theme parks in Orlando and Los Angeles in America, as well as Japan, Singapore and China. The site, which is the former Kempstone Hardwick Brickworks, will be one of the largest and most advanced theme parks on the continent. Once complete, the production company says, a full planning proposal will be submitted to the UK government, with construction expected to start in 2026. As I said, Universal has previously given its name to the Port Aventura resort in Spain, but it is understood that UK attraction will be the first in Europe that has been designed and built from scratch. Universal Destination and Experience said 80% of those employed in the new jobs would be from Bedford, Central Bedfordshire, Luton and Milton Keynes. So those are sort of places surrounding Bedford where it will be based. Everyone is giving it really positive reviews. People are really, really excited about the fact that it is coming. They have posted concept art online, which has been floating around a lot recently in recent videos, with people sort of commenting and trying to guess what attractions are available. I will put the concept art now so you can see for yourself, and then we will talk about possible attractions and things. So that concept artwork and sort of their plan does look stunning. It looks like it's going to be on a very big scale and much bigger than the theme parks we already have in the UK. And to be honest, the theme parks in the UK, I think there has only been 2 sort of theme parks-ish that I have been to in the UK, which is Creeley, which I went to when I was younger, if you know Creeley, and somewhere I believe called Woodlands. I went there camping with my dad. There is like a small amount of rides, but I wouldn't in some ways necessarily call it a theme park. But the big theme parks like Alton Towers, Legoland Windsor and Thorpe Park I have not been to. Those are, I would say, on like a big sort of scale. But by the looks of the concept art, Universal is definitely going to be much bigger, much grander. Now, I will say lots of people have tried to guess online what they think the attractions will be, because nothing has been really announced. The things that have been floating around quite regularly are, the main one is Minions, because apparently there is a section in the concept art. Some of you may have noticed it if you are big Universal fans. There is a section that people believe is like a Minion section, very similar to what's in Universal Beijing apparently. Not that I know much about Universal Beijing, and it was only till recently I realised there was one in Beijing, to be honest. They do have Minions areas, I have to say, in most of their parks. And it is, I think, a positive thing to have and a good thing, because it does attract a younger audience. And a lot of rides that Universal design, and they do, I will have to say, are not like Disney, because they're not very family friendly, if I am being honest. More so because they design their rides, I would say, for starting from like a tween to a teenager into an adult. And they've only recently just started trying, I would say, to add things that are more accessible for young children. I would say like the DreamWorks Little Land that they added in Orlando. And they have spoken about, but I don't 100% know how true this is, that they're bringing a kid-heavy centric sort of theme park to Texas in America. How true that is, I don't know. It's just something that I saw online. But I don't think Universal themselves have officially confirmed that. The other attractions that have been, I would say, speculated about were Back to the Future. That was something that has come up based on the look of what you see in the concept art. Now, I'm going to shock a lot of people in the comments by saying I have never seen Back to the Future, and I don't 100% have a desire to see Back to the Future at the moment, to be honest. I don't know much about Back to the Future, so I don't know if they're choosing it because it's something iconically British. I'm not 100% sure. There is talks about James Bond being represented. That has been thrown around with maybe a 007 stunt show. But where some people are speculating the stunt show is the area of the concept art that I did show you, that is like a little arena kind of thing. But people are saying, because by that little arena area you can see on the concept art that there's water, that they're speculating it may be some attraction called Waterworld from one of their like Asian parks. I think it's from an Asian park, but I don't know. But I will say James Bond is very iconic, or has been known to be iconic in the past, and is something very, very British. And I like the idea of having a James Bond like stunt show with special effects. It will probably, if that's what they were to do, will have similar vibes to what Disney did in Hollywood Studios with the Indiana Jones stunt show. But I have to say the Indiana Jones stunt show is really, really good, and I think stunt shows are really, really fun. And if you can theme it around Bond, something that is considered very, very British, it might attract a lot of people. Now, another thing that has been thrown around that is also very, very iconically British is Paddington. Now, I'm not quite sure why Paddington has been thrown around a lot. It was mentioned in the BBC article that I was reading from a second ago. But I think if they are doing Paddington, I think they're going for an area that is very, very child friendly and trying to be, I think, more family friendly in some of their attractions. And I would say Paddington is considered very, very British. Now, I have absolutely no idea how you would do a Paddington ride unless it's essentially what people consider a dark ride. I think that's the right term, where you're essentially a ride that's in a building and maybe you're in some form of vehicle and you're going through the Paddington story maybe. I have absolutely no idea, to be honest. And the only other thing I feel like that they could do with that is a Paddington meet and greet. And maybe a Paddington and Mr. Gruber meet and greet would be quite fun. I will say though, a Paddington area doesn't excite me, if I'm being honest. And there are lots of other things I will say that are very iconically British that would be very, very child friendly in my opinion. And one of those things that I think would be amazing if they got the rights to include for a child friendly area would be doing some things that are Roald Dahl. Roald Dahl is very, very iconically British in my opinion. it is something that every kid reads while they're at school. It's a great way to get your kids into reading. I still have all my Roald Dahl books somewhere, which I'm saving for my future kids when I have kids, because they are just so like iconic. And there is so much actually you can do, especially if you look at the Charlie and Chocolate Factory movie and the set. And in that movie they have a boat ride, which could just be a tour of Wonka's factory, really. And if you wanted to make it unique, you could even set it so that it is after Charlie has won the factory, so that it's got a nice, like, unique story to it. But there are also other really cool Roald Dahl books that you could include. And I feel like it would be very nice, iconic thing to have it like its own little land. And it would be a UK version of the Dr. Seuss area in Orlando, which I think would be very cool. One of the things I would absolutely love to see that has actually come to mind in the UK part that I think they might be getting rid of in some areas, in some parks, is Fast and Furious stuff. I really loved that Fast and Furious ride that was in Orlando. My mum and I only went on it once, but we absolutely loved it. My mum, to be fair, is quite a big-ish Fast and Furious fan, especially if it's one of the ones with Jason Statham in, then you've sold her, basically. And I actually really enjoy them because most of them include The Rock and Vin Diesel, which are actors that I absolutely love. So having an attraction added and themed to that to our UK park would be great. Now, Fast and Furious, I will say, and Roald Dahl are not being things that have been speculated or thrown around. Those were just ideas that I had for myself. And going back actually to what has been speculated, because I'm sort of sidetracking, was Lord of the Rings. That has come up a bit recently and I'm not quite sure why. Now, I don't know if it's because Universal now have the rights to actually do Lord of the Rings and that's what people are hoping for. But if I am being completely honest, I don't 100% know if they will do Lord of the Rings in the UK. And I would realistically, if they had the land and the space to, I think it would be a really nice added addition, in my opinion, to Epic Universe. Because they could add a new portal that would take you through to the Shire. And just, I think that would be quite cool. And more, I think, of something very epic and on big scale that would be very Epic Universe. Now, I will say, if it comes to the UK, Lord of the Rings, great. Lots of people do love it and it'd be something unique that would attract people, to the park that is unique. Now, one thing I do have to talk about, and it's a really big thing for me to talk about, and that has made me a little bit cross, I must admit, is Harry Potter. Now, that has been thrown around as to umming and ahhing whether Universal will actually bring it to our park. Now, I will say, Harry Potter has not been speculated and mentioned on any official articles. And by the looks of the concept art that I showed you, by the looks of that, there will be no Harry Potter in the beginning. Some people are speculating that there is a certain area that might be Wizarding World, but they have not said anything officially, which makes me think one of two, well, makes me think most likely in the first instance it is not happening. I did see one of the roller coasters because of the design. I thought, oh my god, is that Hagrid's Magical Creature Motorbike Adventure? And then I came sort of like back to reality a little bit and realised that it wasn't. And the roller coaster that I was looking at that I thought was the Hagrid ride in the concept art is led to believe, I think, the Back to the Future roller coaster. And the other roller coaster that is a green one, people are speculating, is Wicked. And I will say Wicked has been a very big thing and has been very, very popular, so I can understand why they would do it. I completely get that. But there is no show in the concept art and no talk, I will have to say, of Harry Potter. Now, this is, if you don't do it in the UK park, is going to be such a letdown. And I think will mean that some people will not be going to Universal UK. Personally. Because Harry Potter and the Harry Potter areas have become iconic to Universal. It is one of the things you expect to see when you go to Universal in some form or another. And I think it is a letdown and a missed opportunity if they don't do it in the UK. Now, lots of people have been speculating in the comments. There are 3 things that have come up as to say why they won't do it. The first one, and the most logical reason, might be because of copyright, and that Warner Brothers have copyright to them having Harry Potter attractions in the UK. Now, if I am being honest, they do not have any Harry Potter rides or attractions in the UK apart from the studio tour, which is in Watford. And at the studio tour, there are no rides whatsoever. And it is essentially a place where you can go and you can see how the movies were made. And it is more just, I would describe it as like a museum and a tour. And the only interactive things you can do are having green screen experiences with photos. Which I have, I think, done twice. I did the Broom one and I've done the Hogwarts Express one. Will I do them again on the next visit? No, probably not. Are they going to add any other green screen photo experiences? I doubt it. The only reason I would say why they might is because when I went to the photographic exhibition with my mum, they had a photo experience that gave you Ministry of Magic ID. And I am wondering whether if the photographic exhibition has gone, because I've heard nothing about it since I've been, they may decide to bring that to the studio tour as an added experience. But for my little Ministry of Magic ID that Mum brought me, it was £20, and I don't feel comfortable the fact that she spent that. But anyway, and people have said this links very nicely to the second point, is that the studio tours apparently is very, very close, and people feel that because the studio tours are there, they wouldn't want to do that. But in discussion with my mum has made a very, very excellent point. And I actually 100% agree with her on this. You have a very, very big, like, missed opportunity. Because if you had Harry Potter at the UK Universal attractions, even if it was just Hogsmeade, I'd take anything at this point. You could do a package deal that provides a hotel stay for so many nights, maybe 2 or 3 park days, studio tour tickets, and if you are being really savvy, that could provide cursed child tickets, making all of these things in that package a discount. It may not be like a massive discount, but it will probably be an overall cheaper price. And this could include transport to the studio tour, you know, and you could call it something like a magical package or like a Wizarding World package. I wouldn't necessarily call it a magical package because that sounds like something very Disney, and they're trying to like be unique and different. But it's something I think that would attract a lot of people and make them a lot of money, because they'd probably decide, like if you're a parent with a child, you might decide, oh actually that's a really good idea for a very nice like staycation while the kids are on half term. You could do all of those things over a week and it'd be a really nice half term holiday. Sorry for the noise, that is the dishwasher finishing, not dishwasher, washing machine. But it is such a missed opportunity, and I don't know why they are in talk of Warner Brothers about organising that at all. Now the thing is, because Harry Potter has not been mentioned and it's not necessarily officially announced what attractions they are having and as to why, they could be in talks with Warner Brothers in discussion of maybe some sort of deal that may come later down the line when they decide to expand a little bit. They personally, I think, hands down need Harry Potter. Harry Potter is iconically British. Now, some people have said that they won't have it because it is in Orlando and they still want to attract the British people to go to America. Which I do get in some sense. You need to do things to attract everyone to every park. But my argument on this, and my very strong argument on this, is Disney are able to, and I'm always comparing the two, I always will. Disney are always in every single of their parks sprinkling the same theme, same attraction, done in a slightly different way. They have done it with Marvel very easily. There are different Marvel attractions in every single park that are making you want to go to all of them. Like, I full well know the Avengers campus in DCA is very different to the Avengers campus in Disneyland Paris. And I know that in some park in Asia, they have an Iron Man attraction that is completely different to the one I will say coming to DCA, and is something that you will only get in it's either Hong Kong Disneyland or Shanghai Disney. I think it's Hong Kong. But also, all their haunted mansions are different to fit the cultures of the place where the park is. The Space Mountains are completely different. The Pirates of the Caribbean are different. And they have done that very successfully, and that has made me, as a Disney Parks fan, want to go to every single park. I do not understand why Universal cannot do that with Harry Potter. Can you, for example, bring Hogsmeade to us with some UK exclusive, whether that be a extra ride, whether that be Hogsmeade and the Forbidden Forest added on? Is it going to be that you're going to say the UK exclusive that this is the only other park where you can shop in Diagon Alley? Which, to be fair, if they brought Harry Potter to the UK, I would just love Diagon Alley, escape to Gringotts, and I would be a very happy girl. But at the same time, if the only way we'd got Harry Potter is just by having Hogsmeade, and I still get all the lovely Harry Potter merch that my bank account's going to hate me for buying, then I will take it. And people cannot say that they will not do Harry Potter in their other parks because of America. Because they have Hogsmeade in Los Angeles. They have in the Universal Japan, which I'm hopefully going to next year, fingers crossed. They have a Hogsmeade there. I believe they possibly, because I saw a stunning popcorn bucket Harry Potter Time Centre one, which I now want, that came from apparently Universal Beijing. So I don't understand why they can't bring Harry Potter to the UK. I completely get it if there is a copyright issue. I 100% get it if it is just a copyright issue. But that means all they need to do is have a conversation, include it into an expansion further down the line. Harry Potter is something iconically British, and personally, you need to be adding things to this Universal UK park that are exclusive to us, that are going to make people who are not from this country want to come to our park. Because if I'm being honest, you can't just put the most exciting and amazing stuff in Orlando. I get that probably in Florida that's where they have the most space, but you need to put some exciting stuff in the other parks to attract people to all the different parks that they have across the world. Disney are very successful at doing it. And I learned that after watching the Imagineering series on Disney Plus, and that made me 100% learn more about the parks and want to go to loads. Because I tell you now, I did not want to go to Japan. I wasn't that desperate to go. But then when I learned that there was a Tokyo Disney over there and a Tokyo Disney Sea with lots of exclusive like attractions, very nice exclusive merch, I was like, yes, I will go. And to be fair, with Disney, it's quite very easy to draw me in to want to go to the different parks. Like when I saw what Shanghai Disney was like in that video, that is like a dream bucket list. And then when I heard they added Zootopia to it, I was like, I need to go now. But also, I will say, I had no desire to go to Disneyland California or DCA, because I was always told by our American friends, no, do Disney World is better. And Disney World is absolutely amazing. I cannot fault it at all. But when I learnt that Disneyland California was Walt's park, the only park that Walt had a hand in building and was in charge of, I knew I just had to go. It is now on my bucket list. But that's me sidetracking. I don't know when more news will come out about what attractions there are, and maybe I will probably do an updated video on this when more comes out. It is really exciting that it will provide loads of jobs during probably the process of it being built, as well as after it has been built for lots of people, especially in that local area, which is actually a really good thing, I would say, for a lot of young people, because lots of young people actually find it really exciting and interesting to be an employee there, considering that employees can get early access to previewing new attractions and testing rides and things like that, and you do get a lot of perks, which is very nice. What I am hoping, one of the things I do hope they bring to our UK park is those caricatures, because my boyfriend didn't really like the one we had done in Orlando, but I think they're just great. So I'd love to see that in the UK park as well. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and also add any information that I missed, to be honest, because I have probably missed some. So yeah, it was really great actually talking to you guys about this. There's lots of things that I have been excited about to do with the park, and then when hearing there was no Harry Potter, my opinion changed, and I wanted to be honest with you on my opinion and let you express your opinion in the comments as well. It's nice to have a chat with you and hear what you think, to be honest. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe down below and turn on that notification bell so you're notified when more magical mischief is coming your way. I really hope you have enjoyed this video, and I will see you very soon, guys. Bye!